Okay. Erev Tov, everyone. So who's with us? Oh, Norman with us. Norman, Erev Tov. Who's with us else? Hilton with us. Erev Tov, Hilton. Brenda and Brian and Glenda with us. Erev Tov. Ivan, Anthony, Erev Tov. Who else with us? We'll wait another few more minutes and then we'll allow the people to join us.
Thank you.
Where's the waterfall?
You do the time straight away.
Okay, let me just do that. Okay. Okay, what's the time? I'm gonna mute. Oh, with Tanya with us. Which Tanya? I don't know. But Tanya with us. Okay, good evening. I see Tanya gonna join us. Tanya gonna join us. Okay, Tanya with us. Good evening, Tanya. Who else with us? Who else coming? And there's another few more minutes. How are you, Tanya?
Tov, thank you.
Good, good. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Long time, huh?
I
We
know, I'm
missed you.
sorry, Rov.
It's okay. It's okay.
I've been working at the times at the Shurim.
Okay. Okay. But you can always go to Nahar Torah. You can always see them. You can just write Rabbi Divi, Nahar Torah, and you can catch up with all the show. Okay,
Thank you
Rabotai.
so much.
Pleasure. Okay, Rabotai, we're going to start. I would like to start the show, and I need to explain what we're going to speak tonight. Tonight, we're going to speak about the Baal Shem Tov. Why Dafka chose to speak about the Baal Shem Tov, we'll see during the show what's hiding behind it, especially in those difficult times that we need the merit of our sages, the merit of the Hachamim. We need them, and we'll see tonight why and when it's good to tell and what to do, why Dafka the Baal Shem Tov. But before, I would like to dedicate the shiur in a sort of Esther Kaden Bat Ketia, Mordechai ben Rahman, Arav Avraham Haim ben Eliezer Yaakov, Tamar bat Zeava, Yaakov Salomon ben Farha, Dvora Ruth bat Beila, Malka Regina bat Joya, Keti Gurgia bat Farha, Nishmatam תהיה צרורה בצור חיים. Also in the health of Menashe Naji ben Farha, Liora bat Miriam, Harav Moshe ben Bahia Batia, Harav Moshe ben Devora, Harav Shlomo Yehuda ben Dalia, Harav Avraham ben Marina, Dvora bat Esther, Sheina Kela bat Hana, Haim Nahum ben Pesa Reza Kohen, Ahuva Kaden bat Tali Esther, Baruch ben Sarah Hiena, Moshe Avram ben Hena Riva, Yala Eden bat Rivka, Leah bat Rachel, Sarah bat Pnina, Tova, Liba bat Rachel. Please God, רפואה שלמה to all of them ולכל חולי עמו בית ישראל. So as I mentioned, we're going to speak about the Baal Shem Tov. And tonight we're going to speak a little bit about his biography. It's not a lot known about him. Then we're going to explain why did he get this title as a Baal Shem Tov. What the word Baal Shem Tov mean. I'm going to bring a story about him, okay? Few stories about him. And in the end, I will explain why Dafka I chose the Baal Shem Tov. And that will help us to understand why in those difficult times that the Jewish people now in Eretz Israel, in diaspora, all over the world, they need the protection of highly Rabbi. So, בעזרת השם, נעשה ונצליח, והשם עלינו ברחמיו ירוויח. It's very little known about the life of Rabbi Israel ben Eliezer v'Sarah. The Baal Shem Tov got that title of the Baal Shem Tov, but his name was Rabbi Israel. His parents was fairly wealthy, okay? Eliezer was a good, he had a business, and his mother Sarah was a midwife in her profession. So they was quite wealthy. And for many years, many years, they could not have kids. That means Rabbi Israel born in a very late age to his parents. That means his mother or his father, they both was barren. Where is he born? Rabbi Israel, it's not exactly sure when he exactly born. He born in the Ukraine, in the city of Teluset or Taluset. I'm not sure about the pronouncing. In a year between, it's not sure, as I mentioned, in the 1690 or the 1700. Okay, he died in the city of Mezebush. That's where he buried until today. Until today, that's where he buried the Baal Shem Tov. What's happened and how did they merit after so many years that there was barons? I rather say both of them barons, because I'm not sure if the wife was a baron. I mean, his mother or the father, I'm not sure. So I rather say baron. His father Eliezer and his mother Sarah couldn't have kids for many years, but they have a good custom that every Friday and every Shabbos they used to host guests, and on the table used to sit people, some of them friends, some of them people that needed meal for Shabbat. They used to host at least 20 to 30 people every Shabbos. Rabotai, listen to that. And for many years, it used to go like this, that the father Eliezer used to sit on the head of the table, the wife next to him, and next to him, people that needed meal, and he honored everyone. He respected everyone that came to his house. He didn't show them or didn't give them maybe a feeling that they not welcome. And happened one year when they was quite old, him and his wife, that they were sitting on Friday night and they had 30 guests on the table, and they all was talking the Torah, and after that they gone to sleep. And the following morning when they came from shul, obviously Rabbi Eliezer, the father of the Baal Shem Tov, set everyone, and all the guests was ready. He made the Kiddush. And as he finished the Kiddush, they hear a knock on the door. And he is standing, a simple person. And it looked like that he came to them on Shabbos. That means that he arrived on Shabbos on a city of Taluset. Okay? The people, people love to whisper and start talking, and they say, listen, he walked on Shabbat. And Rabbi Eliezer, when he saw that, he welcomed him and he said to him, tell me, did you hear a Kiddush? He said, no. He said, okay, in that case, here's the wine, here's the cup. Make a Kiddush for yourself. I would love you to join us for the meal. And that person made a Kiddush. In the meantime, the whispering come and people said to the owner, the guest said to the owner, listen, he traveled on Shabbat, we're not sure. But Rabbi Eliezer was upset. He left the table for a few minutes. But then he decided, no, I can't leave the guest by himself. He gone back and he sit on a table and he told the guest to come to sit right next to him, close to him. And the guest sat with him, and Rabbi Eliezer felt that simple person that come, everyone looking at him, like in a different way, like he's a really nebech, really shemzach. Anyway, Rabbi Eliezer welcomed him and looked after him. And he used to have a custom that all of his guests stay with him until Sunday afternoon. Now remember, that's Eastern Europe. And afternoon they used to leave, and on Monday they go back to work. Okay. The same happened with the guest that came in the middle of the second Seudah. The second Seudah is on Shabbat. And Rabbi Eliezer spoke to him, and he said to him, thank you for coming, for visiting us. It was great pleasure to host you. And the guest said to him, Rabbi Eliezer, I'm not a normal human being. I'm Eliyahu Hanavi. I came, they sent me from heaven to see how you're going to treat me. And because your mitzvah of achnasat orchim, you're going to be married to have a child. But a child, not a simple child, a child that will light the entire world. And as he finished to talk, Eliyahu Hanavi disappeared. Elijah disappeared. Rabbi Eliezer obviously told his wife the story, and shortly after that she fell pregnant, and Rabbi Eliezer had a child that they call him Israel. Israel was a young boy when he became orphan in the age of 5. And because he became orphan in the age of 5, the member of the city of Toluset adopted him. You know, all the community, all the Jewish community adopted little Israel. But before his father died, he called him to his bed. And he said to him, my son, I want you to promise me that you're going to keep 2 things. Number 1, I want you to remember that you should not be afraid from no man in this earth except the Almighty. The second thing that I'm asking you, to love every Jew with all your heart and with all your soul. And then his father passed away. Rabbi Israel, when he heard that, that was his motto in life. That's it. He took on himself that he will never be afraid from anyone, only from the Almighty, and to love every Jew with all of his heart, with all of his soul. Now, a little young boy in the age of 5, Rabotai, become orphan. So obviously one family adopted him, then another family. You know, Rabbi Israel didn't feel comfortable. So he used to be quite often, used to disappear and run away from the hustle and bustle of the city. And he decided that he used to go to the forest, he used to go to the field, and there he used to sit and look at the heaven and become closer to Akadosh Baruch Hu. He found it easier to bond with the Almighty. Not only that, he saw the miracle and the beauty and the glory of Akadosh Baruch Hu, of his creator. And that's what he used to do from time to time. He used to go to the field, mainly to the forest, to sit by himself and connect to Akadosh Baruch Hu and daven to Akadosh Baruch Hu. And one day that he was in a forest, he saw that there is an old man davening. Rabbi Israel, the Baal Shem Tov, looked at him and he saw that he's davening with full kavanah. The Baal Shem Tov approached the old man and they start speaking. What are you doing? And he explained to him. And the Baal Shem Tov immediately realized that that old man, actually a great tzaddik. And they become very close. They got a bond together and they start studying. He taught the Baal Shem Tov Torah. After a while, him and the Baal Shem Tov start moving from small town to visit Jewish people and to teach people in a Haida. And that's what he done for 3 years, him and the old tzaddik. Rabotai, not a lot know about that old man, old tzaddik. But the old tzaddik, after 3 years that he tests the Baal Shem Tov, he decides that he's going to take him to his rabbi. And he introduced him to his rabbi. The Baal Shem Tov, in that age, was an age around 3 to 9 years old. And the rabbi of that old man realized that the young man that's standing in the front of him is not a simple person, not a normal child, and he's going to start putting effort to him. And they start teaching him Torah. And that rabbi called Rabbi Adam Baal Shem. That's his name, Rabbi Adam Baal Shem. The same like Rabbi Israel Baal Shem Tov, Baal Shem. And in the age of 16, that he already start learning Kabbalah. In the age of 16, it's unheard of. He start learning Kabbalah and he start to understand what they're talking. And he was talking with that group of tzaddikim that was hiding themselves. In the age of 18, he got married to his first wife. That shortly after their marriage, she got sick and she died. And then he decided that he's going to become one of the Rabbi and Cheder. And he used to teach little kids and he used to love it. But the parents and the member of the city saw that Melamed, that the Cheder is not a simple person. They start to asking him halachot, he can answer them. And they decide that he's going to be the rabbi. And he agreed. And for a while, he was the rabbi in the city of Brody. The city of Brody in Ukraine. But after a while, he decided that that's not for him. And he returned back to the city of Mezabush. And there he married his wife Hannah, and they have a daughter, Idol. The first daughter that they have a daughter by the name of Idol, and for 15 years they couldn't have kids after that. After that, after 15 years, born his second child. It was a boy, Rabbi Tzvi Hirsch. And that's basically the history about him. In the age of 36, that he was already old enough, Eliyahu Navi appeared to him and started teaching him Torah. And he learned now Kabbalah Ma'asit. What is Kabbalah Ma'asit? Kabbalah Ma'asit, many people tell you they learn Kabbalah. Kabbalah you have to receive from a rabbi. You can't learn Kabbalah from everyone. And that rabbi have to receive it from someone else. So he learned Kabbalah, beside what he learned from Rabbi Adam, he also learned from Eliyahu Navi. At the age of 36, after he was ready, came Eliyahu Navi and came Ahiyah Shiloni. Ahiyah Shiloni was a prophet, okay, the same like the prophet Elijah, and they both convinced Rabbi Israel to reveal himself to the world. And they explained to him that he has to reveal himself to the world because he's going to change, he's going to create a new movement that's called Hasidut in the world, and he started the Hasidut movement in the world. And not only that, he's going to change the entire way of the looking at Jewish people. What does it mean? Eliyahu Navi and Ahiyah Shiloni explained to him that in heaven, HaKadosh Baruch Hu love the simple people. What it means, simple people? People that thanks HaKadosh Baruch Hu and have a simple emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That means they have bread to eat. They say, Baruch Hashem, I have bread. Ask him how you are, Baruch Hashem, Akol Tov, everything is good. Simple emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And they explained to him that until now, no one have it in the world. It's your time now to create the change in the world. That many people used to thank Hakadosh Baruch Hu, but not to that degree. The Baal Shem Tov obviously didn't have any choice, and he started to go. And when he was in the city of Mezabush, he revealed himself, and he starts, integrating with people, going from one place to another place. And he used to speak with the simple people. And when people used to sit, when he used to ask them, how are you? And they used to say, Baruch Hashem, okay? He used to tell them how much HaKadosh Baruch Hu love it, how much joy and happiness there is on heaven when people thanking HaKadosh Baruch Hu for every little thing that they have, to show gratitude. Now, I have to explain that the Baal Shem Tov lived during the time of the program of the Cossack of Khmelnytsky and his friends that killed millions of Jews in Eastern Europe. That was the time of the program. And it was a dark time in the life of the Jewish Jewry in Eastern Europe. But the Baal Shem Tov created a different atmosphere in that time. By that he revealed himself, he spoke to the simple people, not only those that was scholar person, that everyone used to respect. He explained that the simple people that have to work for their living, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu loved them, and they're as important as those scholar person. And he created a change in Eastern Europe, and people come closer to Yiddishkeit, and people start to bond better with piety, with the Hasidut. And they start studying, and it's changed the moral of the Jewry of Eastern Europe in the 17th century during the program of the Cossack that been led by Khmelnytsky and his friends in Mahshema. And the Baal Shem Tov created complete change in the world in the age of 36. The Baal Shem Tov died in the age of 76. That's all. He lived for 76 years old. And after he died, his son Hirsch took his position for a year, and he was the Rebbe of that piety. And after a year, the Baal Shem Tov appeared to him in his dream and said to him, it's time to give Rabbi Dov Ber to be the Rebbe. The Rabbi Dov Ber was there as a Rebbe for a very short time, and then he gave it to the Magid Mimazrij. Come, the Rabbi from Mazrij, the Rebbe from Mazrij, and he was the leader of that movement after that for many years, and he stick to it, and he followed his Rabbi, the Baal Shem Tov, the same. He taught his Torah, he taught his value, he taught his idea to all of the students. That's basically the biography and the story behind the Baal Shem Tov. Not a lot known about him. I try to bring as much as I can regarding the Baal Shem Tov. Now, I would like also to explain where is it come, that title that called Baal Shem Tov. So first of all, let's try to understand what does it mean. Baal is the owner. Shem is a name. Tov is a good name. That means the owner of the good name. The owner of the good name. What kind of a title is that? So to understand that, Hazal explained, the Mefarshim explain, when I say Hazal, is the rabbis that in a Kabbalah explain. It says, what it mean Shem Tov? Shem Tov is a name. It's a good name. Shem Tov, good name. Baal, it's the owner of the Shem Tov. Let me explain. So the people explain Shem Tov been given to people, that title been given to people that knew Kabbalah. And the Baal Shem Tov, when he was alive, people used to come to him. People used to have a chorus. People need blessing for help. Used to come to Baal Shem Tov, and the Baal Shem Tov used to daven for them, and they got healed. People have a problem with Parnasa, he davened for them, and their lives slowly changed. People needed kids, they couldn't have kids. They used to come to the Baal Shem Tov, he used to daven for him. And the next thing, they have kids. The wife can deliver children. People start to understand the Baal Shem Tov is not a simple guy. Maybe he's hiding behind something, but he knows. And the Baal Shem Tov, because he learned with Eliyahu Hanavi, first was his Rabbi Adam, then the Ahya Shiloni and Eliyahu Hanavi. Eliyahu Hanavi was a student of Ahya Shiloni. He was, Ahya Shiloni taught Eliyahu Hanavi 2,000 years before he came to teach Rabbi Israel, the Baal Shem Tov. Rabbi Israel started to understand what is Kabbalah. What is Kabbalah? And what is Kabbalah Ma'asit? Rabbi Israel knew the name of the holy name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Once we done a shiur and we explained that the Almighty have the long name that made from 72 letters and the short name that make from 46. What's hiding behind? It's how to know the holy name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But then to know the secret of the Torah that hiding inside the Zohar. The book of the Zohar that been written by Rabbi Abba, that dictated by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. And Rabbi Israel already, not only that he knew Kabbalah, he also knew Kabbalah Ma'asit. What is Kabbalah Ma'asit? Today, no one knows Kabbalah Ma'asit. Whoever tell you that you know, doubt it 100 times, and whatever he tell you, be careful. No one today know Kabbalah Ma'asit. The last one that I know that knew Kabbalah Ma'asit is Rabbi Yitzhak Kaduri. I've gone to see him 27 years ago. He's well known that he knew Kabbalah Ma'asit. His student, one of his students of Rabbi Yitzhak Kaduri is Rabbi Moshe Cohen Tawil, Chacham Moshe Cohen Tawil. Chacham Moshe Cohen Tawil is my father's brother-in-law. He's in the age of 90. He's still alive, Baruch Hashem. He's my spiritual rabbi. If I have any difficult question, I always consult with him. And I speak to him quite often, and he told me that no chance that today people know Kabbalah Ma'asit. It's beyond. What is Kabbalah Ma'asit? Now let's explain. Kabbalah Ma'asit is that people know the name of the angel. And let me explain. Everything in life, there is an angel. For example, like I explained tonight at Shuv, when I given the short Dvar Torah between Mincha and Mariv, that what did Yaakov Avinu saw in a dream? He saw angel going up and down. What does it mean, angel going up and down? So I explained that he saw the angel of every nation, and also I explained it in Yishur and Shabbat, that Yaakov Avinu saw the exile that the Jewish people are going to go through, the exile of Babylon. He saw the angel climbing up and reaching up to 70 years, and then he gone down. That means that he disappeared. And the same with the Greek nation that was 480 years, and then he gone down, and that nation disappeared because that angel disappeared. And then the angel of Parasu Madai, the Persian, that was for 52 years, climb up, and then the angel gone down and disappeared. That means everything in life, every nation, every tree, okay? Everything in life, there is an angel. except the Jewish people, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu in charge about us. Rabbi Israel ben Sarah, that's the Baal Shem Tov, he knew the name of the angel that in charge about health, wealth, the angel that can give, that you daven to him and he can speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and they can get people that barren, they can get child, and etc. He knew all the angels in heaven. He knew the name. And he knew how to communicate with them. Because if you say their name and you call them, they're coming down. The angel, if you mention his name, is coming down to earth. But if you don't know how to communicate with him, he gets cross and he can harm a person. Why? Because he's sitting in heaven and listening to the Torah from the Almighty. And you're disturbing him, and you're taking him from heaven and you bring him down to this earth, and you have to listen to you. And if you don't know how to communicate with him, and you're not holy enough, has v'shalom, it can cause pshoras. The Baal Shem Tov, not only that he knew the name, he knew how to communicate with them, and he knew how to give them orders. That if person needs a refuah shleima, he knew the name of the angel that's in charge about the health. Person needs parnasa, he knew the name of the angel, and he used to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that angel used to come and change the luck of a person. That was the Baal Shem Tov. And because the Baal Shem Tov, Rabbi Israel, knew the Sodot HaTorah, the secret of the Torah, and not only that he knew Kabbalah, that's the secret of the Torah, he knew the name of the angels. That's why, Rabotai, when the Rabbi writes for you name of the angels on a piece of scroll, that's called an emerald, the holy name. That can give you a good luck. That's what is it. Today, very few can touch that game, if there is one in this world. I don't know. Anyway, Rabbi Israel knew it. And that's where he got the title, the Baal Shem Tov, the honor of a good name. What does it mean, a good name? A rabbi that can communicate, not only that can communicate with the angel, can order them what to do. You have the power. And that's why they call him the Baal Shem Tov. Now we understand about the Baal Shem Tov. I would like to continue further on about the Baal Shem Tov. And I would like to tell a custom that is a very famous custom about the Baal Shem Tov. And the custom is every Motzei Shabbos, after you done Havdalah, before you eat Seudah Revi'it, that means the fourth meal. On Shabbos, we obligate to eat 3 meals. Friday night, the first meal. The second meal in lunchtime. The third meal, Seudah Shlishit, okay, after Mincha, before Mariv, before Tzeta Shabbat. After Tzeta Shabbat, we do Havdalah. After we daven Mariv, we do Havdalah. After you do Havdalah, there is a mitzvah to eat Seudah Revi'it with bread. If a person can't eat with bread, Hazal say eat mezonot. If you can't eat mezonot, eat fruit. But lehatchila you should eat bread. That's called a Seudah. And Hazal said that in Seudah Revi'it, that's Seudat David HaMelech. Okay, it's in the name of David HaMelech. A person should tell a story about the Baal Shem Tov. Why? It's a remedy for successful. And if you tell a story, or if you read a story, or if you hear a story about the Baal Shem Tov, if the story is a spiritual story, okay? All week, it's guarantee you that you have a lot of prosperity on your spirituality. If you tell a story about the Baal Shem Tov, physical story, okay, you'll have parnasa all week. All week you have good parnasa. And if you say it at the beginning of the year, all year you're going to have everything that you need. Say, why is it so important that if you tell us to say a story of the Baal Shem Tov? So it's brought by Rabbi Yosef. Rabbi Yosef brought it in his book, Yalkut Yosef, you'll see it there, that he said that the Baal Shem Tov said to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that if they mention a story of his name, okay, in Seudah Revi'it, please, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, grant their wishes and give them brocha and atzlacha all week around, whatever they want, with everything that they want. And if you tell a story of parnasa, they'll have parnasa all week. If you tell a story about health, they'll have health all week. If you tell them a story about spirituality, all of that week, they're going to be blessed with spirituality. Say Rav Yitzhak Yosef, he's the chief Sephardi rabbi in Israel, that in heaven they granted his wish. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to him, your wish is granted. So there is a remedy, but I remember that, and I will explain why I'm not saying it while I brought it. That every Motzei Shabbos, to mention a story, to start the week with a story with the Baal Shem Tov. Why am I saying? Baruch Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu helped the Jewish people, and the prisoners starting to be released from captivity. We don't know how many are alive. We don't know how many of them injured. We don't know how many of them dead. The situation in Eretz Israel, very tense. We see that in the south, we have Hamas, ISIS, whatever you want to call them, unhuman being. In the north, we have the Hezbollah, that not any better. In the east, north, we have in Yemen, that's the Houthis, that's sending missiles. The Middle East is sitting like a ticking bomb at the moment, while Israel's surrounded with enemies. The Jewish people need a lot of merit. And I mentioned in the Shiurim on Shabbos, and I mentioned in the previous Shiurim, the head of the brigade of Golani. And today I hear it from another head of brigade, that infantry in Gaza, and they say, and they beg the Jewish people, we here in Gaza, we're fighting with our hand. We need you to daven to Hashem so HaKadosh Baruch Hu can fight for us. We need your praise, we need your Tehillim, we need your Torah. And that's I heard today from a different head of the brigade. I heard it and I saw it in my own eyes. That means when we daven here, when we learning Torah, when we say Tehillim here, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he's the one that's fighting for those soldiers. Now, let's go to us. The Jewish people need a lot of merit at the moment. We need the merit of a great tzaddikim. If each one of us can take every Motzei Shabbos to take a book with the stories of Baal Shem Tov, and to say one story, that will take maybe 2 minutes, 5 minutes maximum. Doesn't take more than that. And to say that that merit, and a merit of the Baal Shem Tov, that he will stand and daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that his righteousness and his davening will be accepted in heaven, that merit will protect the Israeli Defense Force in Gaza, in the north, in the center of Israel, everywhere. The member of the police force, the member of the security forces in Israel, the member of the intelligence, and the merit of every Jew in Eretz Israel and in diaspora, in merit of releasing those that in captivity, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please God, release all of them, Bri'im v'Shlemim, healthy, please God, that all gonna be released healthy, and they're all gonna come home very well. When I say very well, mentally, not only physically, that's very important. And say Harav Yitzhak Yosef, in Shamayim, they granted, listen to that, they granted the wish of the Baal Shem Tov. Beside what we need personally, the thing that we need each one individually, personally, each one of us need different things. We need also a pray for our brothers in Eretz Israel. Excuse me 1 second. We need praise of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the protection, the guardians of the children, for the children of Israel in Eretz Israel. It's very important. So if a person can take on himself every Motzei Shabbos, for 5 minutes, read a story about the Baal Shem Tov, and then that merit should stand for the entire Jewish people all over the world. Mention your name, mention your family that you need help, everyone that needs what he needs. I would like to conclude with the power of the Baal Shem Tov. In a shul that the Baal Shem Tov used to govern, one day the Baal Shem Tov walked to shul and he saw two people arguing between them. And the one person said to the other one, I'm going to tear you like a fish, like a person tear a fish. You know, when you clean a fish, that's what I'm going to do for you. The Baal Shem Tov, when he heard that, he was behind, he couldn't take it. He was beyond himself. He told the student that was with him, close your eyes. And that moment that they closed the eyes, the two students suddenly saw what's the words, what's happening with the words that the person threats the other person. That means those two people that used to argue, when that person say, I'm going to tear you like a fish, I'm going to slaughter you like a fish, tear you to pieces like a fish. He said that the students said that in heaven they saw exactly what he said. And they start shouting, they couldn't take it. Immediately, the Baal Shem Tov stopped everyone. And he said, you know why my students shouting? Because the power of words, the strength of every word that we say here in heaven, it can change everything in heaven. Here on earth can change in heaven. That means if we daven here on earth for the sake of the security of the Jewish people in Eretz Israel, if we daven for the sake of the Jewish people all over the diaspora, for the member of the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, the member of the intelligence, the member of the police, the member of the secret agent, the member of every Jew all over the world and in Israel, we do not understand what we're doing in heaven. Therefore, say the Baal Shem Tov to those guys, when you open your mouth, you have to be careful what you're saying. Now, when we daven for the merit of the Israeli Defense Force, we have to have in mind what we want, how we want them to be protected, how we want the Jewish people to win the war, what the reason behind the war, We have to understand that those people that we're fighting at the moment, the Amalek. Chazal in the Gemara say, and say also the Gaon Mivilna, Rabbi Eliyahu Mivilna, that every nation that cause a war with the Jewish people, they have to be from Amalek. Amalek was the first one to start a war with the Jewish people. Where does it say? ויזנב בך כל הנחשלים אחריך. Amalek came straight after the miracle of the splitting of the sea, come from Gaza, that's the place where all the Plishtim, okay, where Amalek was, come to fight with the Jewish people in the wilderness of Sinai. From nowhere they come, for nothing that have to do with them. That's Amalek. Now, if we take that story and we understand the power, what we can do with our mouths, we can do a lot of good things. We can ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu to destroy Amalek, and that's what we're going to do Be'ezrat Hashem in Purim. But before Purim come a different festival, a festival of miracle. That festival called Hanukkah, and it started on the month of Kislev. And we see already the miracle that Kadosh Baruch Hu doing with us as a Jewish nation. We destroy Amalek in the south, but we have Amalekim all over. We have Amalekim that pretend that they loved us, and we have Amalekim that say we hate you. There's different enemies. But Rabotai, our power is Tolat Yaakov. Our power is our davening. And those difficult times, let's take on ourselves, Rabotai. Every day, if you have a minute spare, just to say extra capital of Tehillim, and to dedicate it to the health of all the injuries, those that need refuah shlema, those that need protection in Eretz Israel, those Jews all over the world that need protection all over the world, those that Jewish people that need refuah shlema, if the injuries from the war, or normal Jewish person that needs help. We don't understand the power of davening, the power of saying Tehillim. And why did I brought it? Now I'm getting to the end. The Baal Shem Tov saying that whoever gonna mention a story in his name, he guarantee that he gonna have a beautiful week like we mentioned, but whatever he says and he wish gonna be accepted. So Rabotai, how much we have to work hard during those difficult times, each one of us. And no one must think that the other one is better, I'm not good enough. Has v'shalom. Every prayer, every davening of us can change the situation in the north and the south, all over the world. And the Jews, no one Jew can say anywhere that he's safe. So Be'ezrat Hashem, now that we know a little bit about the Baal Shem Tov, the history of the Baal Shem Tov, now that we know the remedy that hiding behind telling stories on Motzei Shabbos and Sauda Revi'it, okay, after Havdalah, if a person can do a Sauda, if you can't do Sauda, eat at least a biscuit or eat a cake, whatever is it, and tell a story about the Baal Shem Tov, in the name of the Baal Shem Tov. It's easier to find. There's plenty stories. You can Google it from here to next year. There's stories about the Baal Shem Tov. There's many stories about the Baal Shem Tov. Say it, and then say to yourself, Rabbi Israel ben Sarah, a Baal Shem Tov, You promise that you're going to give me prosperity, health, whatever you want. Ask for yourself, ask for your family, ask for the Jewish people in Eretz Israel, the Jewish people in diaspora. Ask for the soldier, in merit of the soldier, the protection of the soldier, the protection of the member of the security force. Ask for help and refuah shlema to all of those that got injured, all of those Jewish people that sick all over the world. And ask, the most important, Rabotai, to ask that the Baal Shem Tov will daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to send us Mashiach Tzidkenu speedily in our day. And we see the merit in our days to see eye in eyes the third Bet HaMikdash coming building from heaven, ready coming down. Ezrat Hashem, that we should merit to see it speedily in our day. Amen ken yeh ratzon. I hope that you enjoy the show, Rabotai. Those of you that have a question, please don't be shy. Please unmute your microphone, and I try to answer questions. Don't be shy. If you have something to add up, please unmute your microphone. And I hope that you all enjoy the show.
Good evening, Rob. How are you?
Oh, Shavua Tov, Louis. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine.
How are you in Eretz Israel? How's Eretz Israel?
Eretz Israel is strong. We are all strong.
Am
We
Israel
all-
Hay V'Kayam.
Kayam. We all thinking the same way. We'll take this Hamas and put them in Drederein, where they deserve to be.
Ezrat
That's the way.
Hashem.
This is how we all feeling.
Baruch
And
Hashem. Baruch Hashem.
we all thinking positively. We're getting the hostages back. That's a Shem, we should get all of them back.
Ezrat
And then
Hashem.
you- Then you will see what the army will do after that.
Yeah, Ezrat Hashem, we need the merit of the tzaddikim. We need the merit of us to daven for those
Yeah.
our soldiers, that no more soldier gonna die. The most important is the unity.
Their strength. Unity is their strength.
That's our strength. And to respect everyone. Rabotai, it's very important that we should respect one each other. And that's what the father, Eliezer, of the Baal Shem Tov said to him, respect every Jew and love him. And if we know how important is it in heaven,
Hashem will look after us.
absolutely, absolutely.
Definitely.
Ahavat Hinam, that's what's called Ahavat Hinam, to love
Okay.
everyone.
Yeah.
I don't have to agree with them, I don't have to agree with their opinion, but I need to respect them.
We must respect every Jew.
That's it.
That's it.
Shukran.
As
Shukran.
good as he is, as bad as he is, we respect one another. That's the main thing. Thank you. That was a very, very lovely shiur tonight.
I
Thank
say
you.
that I need to bring some words of courage now in those difficult times. Yes,
Definitely.
Stephen, I saw that you tried to ask question. Bechavon, Stephen. Okay.
Question: if you look at Tehillim 58, it's actually frightening, where it talks about the Hamas and the violence of our enemies, and about them being like snails and they go underground. If you do it, you'd think it was actually it's actually talking about our current situation.
Okay, so Hazal in the Gemara in Masechet Baba Batra.
Mm-hmm.
Baba Batra, Yud Daled, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not focused now, because but Yud Daled, I think Amud Bet. No, Yud Daled Amud Aleph. Hazal say that David HaMelech wrote Sefer Tehillim and another 10 orderlies. David HaMelech wrote 72 poem of Tehillim, and the rest been written by another 10 orderlies that we explained the other day about the book of Tehillim. Okay, but the book of Tehillim David HaMelech davened to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he asked HaKadosh Baruch Hu that those that read Tehillim, people usually down look at people that read Tehillim. You know, people look at those people that studying Gemara, studying Mishnah, whatever they're studying, Halacha, and they look at them differently. But the person that read Tehillim, for some reason, people look at them like they not so scholar person. Said David HaMelech, and he davened to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to ask him that the virtue of a person that read Tehillim will be as important that those studying the most difficult Masechtot, those difficult Gemara, in a Shas. That means the virtue of Tehillim is as, if not more important, of those that learning Gemara.
Sure.
Do we understand that? It's beyond understanding. David HaMelech, whatever he had, he write.
Yeah.
It's a prophecy. If you look at Tehillim, it's exactly what's happening to David HaMelech. David HaMelech knew what's going to happen.
And the other Tehillim I also notice. If you ever want to know about how to curse an enemy, so Tehillim 109 is no enemy would want that curse.
David HaMelech explained to us how to deal even with the enemy.
Yeah.
In Navar, תתברר, ואם עיקש, תתעקש. That means David HaMelech knew exactly in his Holy Spirit that HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed to him how to behave with enemies.
Yeah.
That means that we have to understand that those that coming to kill us, they have no mercy.
Yeah.
Israel released women terrorism, and you all saw it. And you see immediately that they've been released, how they're celebrating, and what did they say, those women?
And the women are the most dangerous, more dangerous than the men.
That's a different issue. But that's what we're trying to say. Look how horrible they are. Look at our prisoners that have been released. They never said to kill. They never shout to destroy. They just wanted to be with their family.
That's all.
You can see the hatred that there is towards the Jewish people.
They say the Rambam says that the Arabs are wild. Well, even the Torah says, but he says the Arabs are like not even people. They're hardly even people.
Chazal,
different.
The Torah tells us in Parashat Chaye Sarah, Vehu pere Adam, yado bakol veyad kol bo. That's our cousin Ishmael, the Muslim. Pere Adam.
Yeah, a wild horse, a wild ass.
Wild man.
Wild man.
If you can call a man. I mean, man is a degree for them. But what are we learning from? Rabotai, we have to understand that our Torah is a manual. When Chazal tell us something, we have to take it seriously. Chazal say in the Gemara, Kol HaMerachem, a person that have mercy on people that have no mercy, in the end, he will have no mercy on those that have mercy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we have to be strong. We have to be united. Nachon, it was a lot of difficulties. But let's leave it aside now. Now it's time to be united.
It's a new chapter.
Now, Am Israel Chai. It doesn't make a difference what we're wearing, what we're dressing.
100%.
They didn't care who they take. If they take religious, they take non-religious, they just kill.
That's Amalek, absolutely. And it's the weak and the vulnerable. That's exactly where they took.
That's what we have to do.
October. Yeah.
We have to love each other. Okay? We don't have to agree with each other. I'll say it again. You don't have to agree with each other. we have to love each other.
There's
We
us
have
Hashem,
to
but
respect each
the
other.
real test is God. When this war is over, is how we're going to conduct ourselves then. That's really God who just makes
Be'ezrat Hashem,
our
that
face has changed.
if we're going to be united, HaMashiach will come faster.
Be'ezrat
The
Hashem.
Mashiach doesn't come because we're not united.
Absolutely.
So I would like to wish, first of all, to all of you, thank you very much for joining the show. I hope that you enjoyed the show, the word of encouragement in those difficult times. I hope that you will take that remedy of the Baal Shem Tov. Now, when you hear the Baal Shem Tov, you'll understand why they're giving him that title, Baal Shem Tov, the owner of a good name. And Be'ezrat Hashem, that the merit of the tzaddikim, they can daven for us, for every Jew, for whatever we need, for personal need, for general need of Am Yisrael, the protection of all Am Yisrael. And the most important, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send us Mashiach Tzidkenu speedily in our day, that we should merit to see the Bet HaMikdash being built in our time, in our eyes. Amen ken yeh ratzon.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you to everyone. Thank you. I hope that you enjoyed the show. And that note, I would like to wish everyone Shavua Tov, a beautiful week ahead of us, and with the prosperity and the blessing of the Baal Shem Tov to each one of us. Thank you for joining us, and have a beautiful week, everyone. Shavua Tov u'mvorach to all of you.